Welcome to our Cosmogenetrix Symposium, Priestess Zia's presentation, an invocation to Persephone. Priestess Zia is a member of the Mount Shasta Goddess Temple. She sits on our Council of Wise Women. She has studied with our Priestess Training Program, and she's also studied Stregaria with Raven Grimassi, and she continues her own research into her Italian heritage and witchcraft. She's currently in the temple's Via Carmen Pythia program and learning 24 different methods of divination. You can learn more about Zia and her magical marketplace at infinitycoven.com. And Priestess Zia makes some of my very favorite candles to burn. So I would be remiss if I didn't point that out. Welcome, Priestess Zia.
Thank you, Yesha. I'm going to share my screen if you don't mind. And welcome back from your break, everyone. I hope you got some nourishment. Okay. There we go. I'm going to pause that real quick so I can bring up get myself settled. Screen's up. Okay. All right. So welcome, everyone. I am Priestess Zia. I'm a member of the temple, and I devoted a lot of my work to Persephone. I chose her as goddess I'm sorry, I don't know how. Can you see me right now, or do you see my screen?
You see the screen and a little box with you.
Okay, that's good enough. Okay, that's good enough. So I have devoted part of my mandala to Persephone, and this year I'm devoting to her mother. She's a big part of my life. And today I'd like to walk you through a guided meditation of the story of Persephone. So I hope your bellies are full, because now you get to relax. You're going to close your eyes if you like. I'm going to light some incense for my altar real quick while you get relaxed, get settled. If you want to get yourself a sip of water before we begin. Okay. Close your eyes. You may turn your video off if you prefer. Take a moment to make yourself comfortable where you are. Maybe straighten your back or make gentle circles with your head, relaxing your neck. Once you've reached a place of stillness, begin to deepen your breath. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Again, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Going to read an Orphic Hymn of Persephone, translated by A.P. Lang. Persephone, daughter of Zeus, blessed, only begotten, gracious, receive this good offering. Much honored, you overpowered by Pluto, you are beloved, life-giving. You hold the doors of Hades under the depths of the earth. Transactor of justice, your beloved hair, the sacred olive branch of the enemy. Mother of the Eumenides, queen of the underworld, you, from Zeus, through secret begetting. Mother of loud Shouting, many-shaped raucous, playmate of the moving seasons, light-bringing beautiful form. Holy, ruler of all, maiden, showering fruits, horned, you alone are longed for by mortal. You are spring, lighting in fragrant meadows. Your sacred body appears to us in growing fruits and branches. Raped into your marriage bed in the late autumn, you alone bring death to distressed mortals. Persephone, you are forever the nourisher and the death. Listen, blessed, and send up fruits from the earth, in peace, flourishing in health from your soothing hand, and in life abundance, leading to richness of old age. Then to your realm, O sovereign and too powerful Pluto. And now we're going to dive deep into the story and see the reflections within ourselves. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Again, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Around you, the surroundings begin to change. You feel a soft, warm breeze through your hair, and it carries with it the scent of gladiolus, daisies, and honeysuckle. Beneath your feet is a sprawling carpet of greenery, sprawling with flowers in pink and yellow and white. The sound of giggles and splashing water behind you prompts you to turn around. There you see beautiful Nereid and Naiad nymphs playing near the water's edge. They call to you, Persephone, and happily insist on keeping an eye on you while your mother Demeter is off to finish overseeing the crops. In the corner of your eye, you spot a yellow narcissus. It seems to glow like a tiny star. You are drawn to its beauty. You call out to the nymphs. They should see this. But alas, you have gone too far from the water's edge for the nymphs to follow. You decide to pluck the flower and bring it to them. But as you pull the stem, it does not budge. You grab the narcissus with both hands and pull harder, harder. The ground begins to rumble and the flower in your hand is sucked into the ground, and a chasm begins to open up in its place. The earth splits open and a golden chariot pulled by 4 black horses propels out of the darkness. A man stomps down from the chariot. He smells of dried blood and burnt meat, seemingly leaving a trail of smoke behind him. He is your uncle, Hades, god of the underworld. He speaks of a deal he made with your father. You are to be his bride and live in the underworld. When the shock falls, you shake your head and begin to crawl backwards towards the water. You keep your eyes on the water where your friends are too far away to see what is happening to you. You can feel your body being grabbed and lifted in the opposite direction you want to go. And just like that, you are surrounded by darkness. Was there a time in your life when you were taken from innocence? Does this moment from the past affect your life now? Have you healed from your lost innocence? Where does it still hurt? What would help you overcome the pain you still have? In your time as a young maiden, what did innocence feel like? Try to feel that now. What does it feel like to have childhood innocence? In your body, in your mind, in your soul? What can you do to increase that innocent feeling in the now? Out of the black darkness, you begin again to see around you a lush field of flowers, and ahead of you is bright blue water adorned with nymphs. This time, your body feels different, stronger, older, and as you move, your legs brush against your robes. As you get closer to the scene before you unravels, what you thought were nymphs waving to greet you are actually nymphs screaming and crying and reaching out for help. You can feel a knot developing in your throat as the nymphs announce that your daughter has gone missing. Cyane had tried to save Persephone, and in her failure, she cried herself into a river. The others, though, they were supposed to keep watch over your child. Your grief and rage take over. Your blood begins to boil and make your body shake. With power drawn from the nutrients in the earth around you, through your feet and into your fingertips, you curse the nymphs and transform them into siren bird creatures. Where is your daughter? Was there a time you couldn't protect someone from harm? Did someone make a promise they did not keep? Have you healed from your loss in trust? Where does it still hurt? What could help you overcome the pain you still have? Do you remember a time when you felt complete, whole, and without fear? What did that feel like? Try to feel that now. What does it feel like to have trust in the future, in yourself? What can you do to increase that feeling in the now? No one notices you, Demeter, the goddess of the harvest. You disguise yourself as an old crone. With a torch in hand, you wander the earth in search of your lost daughter. You know she is still alive. You know she is lost, but there is no trace of her left behind. After 9 days of searching, you come upon a three-way crossroad and a light in the darkness. Standing tall and straight as a column and holding a torch is Hecate, goddess of magic and passages. She looks deep into your eyes and into your soul. She sees who you really are and who your grief has turned you into. With a deep sigh, she takes pity on you and suggests Helios should be questioned. He is the god of sunlight and sees all that happens during the day. Hecate waits at the crossroad by your side for Helios to arrive, and when he does, he tells of how Persephone was taken by Hades into the underworld, and your consort Zeus helped. Helios also informs you that since you left to look for your daughter, the crops and fields are suffering and going bare. You have no concerns about mortals and their hunger right now. Until your daughter is returned, there will be no harvest. What do you do that, if stopped, would have a negative impact on others' lives? Where in your life do you have full control? And what parts do you have a total lack of control? Are you comfortable being in control with a lot of responsibility? Or do you prefer being free of responsibility and control? Where does it feel unbalanced? What would help you balance the responsibilities you have right now? What does it feel like to be totally balanced? What can you do to increase that feeling in the now? You are sitting on a rough basalt ledge next to a dark river. Its current is loud and splashes against rocks in its path. The water is cold and uninviting and full of wailing souls. You are Persephone, and this is the underworld. Above you are the boughs of cypress and poplar trees, but they house no birds or other living creatures. Pockets of flowers scattered about, but they are all white, lilies, moonflowers, and primrose, and they hold no sweet scent. You long for the fields of yellow and pink flowers delighting your eyes, the smell of orange blossom and honey in the air. Most of all, you long for your mother, who you never said goodbye to. Hades approaches you. He has been tolerable the last few months, as much as a captor can be, trying to make you laugh, bring you gifts and entertainment to please you. But the only thing that would make you happy would be returning to your mother and the living. Hades crosses his arms. He seems disappointed. He explains that your mother, Demeter, has stopped tending to the crops since you were taken. The land has gone bare, and the immortals are starving. Zeus has demanded your return to Earth so humanity is not destroyed. You jump to your feet and your face beams with a smile. Relief! Thank you, Mother. Hades holds out his arm and offers to escort you himself out of his kingdom. You take his arm and begin the long ascent through the levels of hell. With his other arm, Hades reaches into a pouch and pulls out a handful of red, shiny pomegranate seeds. He puts a few in his mouth and bites into them with a juicy pop. He smiles and offers you the rest of them, 6 in all. You eat them one at a time, with each one drawing you closer to your mother, fruit and flowers. Ahead, sunlight breaks the darkness and grows bigger as you approach the gates, guarded by an enormous 3-headed dog. You let go of Hades' arm and rush past the canine into the light and into the arms of your mother. You feel warm inside and out. It's over. You're home. Hades greets his sister, then clears his throat. He returned you to your mother, that was the deal. But those pomegranate seeds that you just ate bind you to him and the underworld forever. No! You and Demeter cry out in unison. Your mother screams to the sky for the lands to be dry and become infertile. The clouds part, and Zeus descends on the scene. He is focused on Demeter and pays you no attention. They argue over each other, pointing to you and then to Hades. Eventually, the quarrel eases, and your parents summon you both to them. A compromise has been made. For half of the year, you are to reside with Hades and be queen of the underworld, to rule over the dead. The other half of the year, you will reside with your mother and help nurture the land as goddess of spring. You look to your mother in your eye, and you know that this is the best she could do. And it was much better than nothing. A bittersweet reunion with mother, knowing only too soon you will return to darkness. Where in your life have you made compromises? Do you feel in some ways you settled for what you got rather than what you wanted? Has a burden placed upon you ever ended up being a blessing? Where do you give too much or take too little? What would help you balance the give and take in your life when it comes to compromise, responsibility, love, friendship? What does it feel like when things are done fairly? What can you do to increase that feeling in the now? You feel light floating. You leave Persephone's body and look at the scene on the crossroads below you. Floating below you, the scene gets smaller and smaller into a dot, and then to nothingness. Feel your feet and begin to return your senses to your body. Feel light travel up your legs and to your yoni. It keeps moving up through your belly, up into your chest. Take a deep breath in and feel your heart with light, and exhale and spread the light through your arms and down into your fingertips. Inhale and fill your throat with light, and exhale light into your head. Every year, Persephone goes into the underground, lives in darkness and death. Every year, though, Persephone also gives and lives in light and life. All of us must go through cycles of dark and light. How do you cope in times of darkness? How do you show appreciation in times of light? Begin opening your ears to the sounds around you. Open your nose to the smells around you. And finally, open your eyes. Today, the spring equinox, we celebrate Persephone as she emerges, one foot in the underworld, the other on earth. The wheel of the year once again turns, and it is time to grow and blossom. From this long, dark period, we begin to emerge and see the sun and colorful flowers again. All too soon, however, darkness will return, as it always does. Right now, it's time to show appreciation for light and life in your life. Time to stop and smell the roses. Just stay away from glowing narcissus. Thank you, everyone. I hope that you were able to find some inner solutions to maybe something that you've been thinking about. I'm going to end my session today by putting down a pomegranate seed at the feet of Persephone. Oops, this way. Over here. So I'm going to open up my gallery screen so I can see everyone.
Oh, thank you so much, Priestess Zia. That was really powerful. I loved all of that vivid imagery and the way that you linked the story back to so many things that we might experience even now. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I will for Yesha, seed, and for Mail, and for Molly Blue Dawn,
That's so nice.
and for Lisa, Danielle, and Marcia, Holly Red Fox, Conette, Peace and Wisdom, for Nim, for Marcia. Oh, I think I got Marcia. For Aranos, and for Maya, and for Sarita, and for Becky, and for Willow, and for Hekio Sarayam, for Devana, for Atmac, for Loretta, and for Blue-Green Harmony. Thank you. For each of you, I've placed a pomegranate seed at the feet of Persephone. Thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you're enjoying this symposium and can't wait to see what's coming up next.
Thank you, Priestess Zia. I am going to remove the spotlight from you and then put the spotlight on